Have you ever said something to your dog and thought, wait a second, do they actually understand me? From learning commands like sit and stay to looking guilty when you say bad dog, some pups seem like they know everything you're saying. But how much do dogs really understand? And how are they able to respond so perfectly? To understand why your dog seems to know what you're saying, we first need to look at how dogs communicate. Spoiler alert, it's not just about words. Dogs are masters of nonverbal communication. Their wagging tails, body posture, and even the way they look at you tell a story. In fact, studies show that dogs have evolved to read human emotions better than almost any other species. Yep, your dog knows when you're happy, sad, or even stressed, just by looking at you. But what about actual words? Are they just guessing, or do they really understand? Let's dig deeper. Let's start with the basics. Dogs are incredible at picking up on human language, not just our words but also our tone, body language, and even subtle facial expressions. But here's the kicker, research shows that dogs might understand more than we ever thought possible. So, how do dogs do it? It all starts in their brains. Just like us, dogs process language in the left hemisphere of their brains. Scientists used brain imaging to study dogs and found that they recognize familiar words even when spoken in a neutral tone. But here's the wild part, the right hemisphere helps them interpret our tone and emotion. This means dogs understand both what you're saying and how you're saying it. Now, here's the secret sauce, dogs don't rely on words alone. They're experts at picking up on context clues, like your tone of voice, facial expressions, and even the time of day. For example, if you always grab your shoes before saying let's go for a walk, your dog is probably watching for the shoes more than listening for the words. This combination of cues is what makes it seem like they understand everything you're saying. Basically, your dog is Sherlock Holmes in a fur coat, piecing together all the clues you're giving them. Let's test something. Imagine saying, "Good dog," in an angry voice. Your dog might look confused or upset, not because of the words, but because of your tone. Dogs are emotional sponges, and they're masters at reading your feelings through your voice. In fact, a 2020 study found that dogs can tell the difference between happy and sad human voices, even from strangers. Now, let's talk about why some dogs seem to understand you better than others. It often comes down to breed and individual personality. Border Collies, Poodles, and German Shepherds are known for their intelligence and eagerness to learn, which makes them exceptional communicators. But even breeds like Bulldogs or Shih Tzus, known for being more independent, can understand words with the right training and reinforcement. Here's the thing, words aren't the only way dogs understand us. In fact, they're experts at reading body language. If you point to a ball, most dogs will fetch it, even without saying a word. And when you lean down with open arms, they know it's time for a hug. Dogs pay attention to gestures, posture, and even tiny eye movements to figure out what you want. Alright, here's a fun question. Can dogs really understand full sentences? The short answer is, kind of. While most dogs don't grasp full sentences the way we do, they're great at recognizing patterns in speech. For example, if you always say, Do you want to go outside? Before taking them out, they'll associate that phrase with going outside. It's not the words themselves, it's the combination and context that matters. Here's the good news: you can train your dog to understand more words and commands. Start with simple one-word commands like sit or stay, and pair them with clear gestures. Then, build up to phrases like go get your ball. The key is consistency and positive reinforcement. Reward them every time they get it right. While dogs may not understand language in the same way we do, research shows they're excellent at recognizing specific words and associating them with actions or objects. Studies using MRI scans reveal that dogs process words in their left brain hemisphere, the same area humans use for language. Take Chaser, a famous border collie, for example. She learned over 1,000 words and could identify specific objects by name, proving just how sophisticated a dog's understanding can be. At the end of the day, the reason dogs seem to understand us so well isn't just about words, it's about the bond we share. Dogs have evolved alongside humans for thousands of years, and they're hardwired to connect with us emotionally. That's why your dog knows when you're sad, happy, or even stressed, and why they're always there to comfort you. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at some of the most famous talking dogs. From the husky that says I love you to the Shiba Inu that responds to questions with hilarious howls, these dogs have taken communication to the next level. But is it all about the words we use, or does tone play a bigger role? Studies show that dogs are highly sensitive to the tone of voice, which they process in the right hemisphere of their brain. This means they're experts at detecting emotion in our speech. So when you're telling your dog they're the best in the world, or asking them to stop chewing your shoes, it's not just what you say, but how you say it that matters. So, why do some dogs seem to understand every word you say? It's a mix of intelligence, emotion, and the incredible bond between humans and dogs.